Self-esteem and boundaries have a feedback loop. And I think it can be really helpful to understand this feedback loop so you can figure out, how do I cut that loop? How do I stop that cycle? So, what is the feedback loop? Okay, so if you have low self esteem, you may not think that your boundaries are as important as other people's boundaries. You may not think that your needs and wants are as important as other people's. You might be driven by a feeling of I'm not good enough, or it might be driven by a habit of people pleasing. But all of those things are going to impact your boundaries, right? Because you won't be standing up for your own needs, wants, and desires. You may not stand up for your own values because of how you feel about yourself. But then, when you get into a situation where you don't stand up for yourself, where you don't stand up for your own wants, needs, desires, values, and you cave, then you end up feeling even worse about yourself. So, whether you actually put in place boundaries and hold to them or not has a feedback back onto a feeling of low self esteem. So, there is a tool called Act As If. So, no matter how you feel and no matter what feeling it brings up in you, you follow through to hold to your boundary. And then that will begin to have a positive feedback loop. It will improve your self esteem because later you'll be like, okay, I didn't feel like doing it. It was really uncomfortable. It went against every grain in my body, but I did it. And because I did it, I feel better about myself. So this feedback loop can be both positive and negative, right? So acting as if is one tool to flip this loop into a positive loop for your self esteem. And I know this is easier said than done. And the real reason we don't set boundaries is because of how we feel about ourselves, is because of our beliefs about ourselves and the world, what's safe, what's not. Most of these beliefs were developed very young. And then the other piece of setting boundaries is really emotional regulation, learning to be able to emotionally regulate so that you can feel anxious and still do something, so that you can calm yourself down on the spot when either somebody's violating your boundaries or you feel the need to set a boundary. So that's why the course I have, the online course I have on boundaries, really focuses on healing that negative core belief and then learning the emotional regulation and then incorporating all this information, because we have a lot of like how to information on boundaries, what a boundary is, what it means to set a boundary. A fair amount of it is not super accurate, right? Like boundaries aren't always about saying no. Boundaries can also be about being close to someone, and how can you be close to someone and compassionate and empathetic and also remain true to yourself, right? That is possible, right? So boundaries are much more complicated than the sort of instructional videos or online information you'll find. And that instructional information is not always super helpful because we have those emotional responses and those core beliefs about ourselves. So developing healthy boundaries, which then leads to the healthy self-esteem, is really about the deeper work. So check out the program I have. You might be interested, but you also can obviously do this work many other ways. I was a therapist for 20 years, helping people strengthen their boundaries, lower their anxiety, learn to emotionally regulate. It really is possible and it really can help, and you are worth it. So, hoping you can do the work. Comment below. Let me know how this feedback loop works or doesn't work for you. What helps shift it into a positive feedback loop? And let me know what you thought of the video. All right. See you next week.